morning, everyone. How are you doing?
Good morning.
All right. Well, I'm so excited to be in front of you. I know some of you weren't in the room when I gave my introduction a little bit earlier. My Dun & Bradstreet is very simple. I'm a career counselor. I'm currently working at the Tri-Valley One-Stop Career Center in Pleasanton. However, how many of you have ever been to the Tri-Valley One-Stop? So many of you. So I love what I do. Okay, my passion is helping people figure out what they want to do when they grow up, or be when they grow up, right? It doesn't matter how old you are. A lot of us are still trying to figure out what we want to be. I heard one of the ladies that was here for the first time saying, I don't really know what I want to do. And so it's okay. We're all in that spot. We're continually learning and growing up and learning about ourselves and becoming more aware of what we want as we proceed through all of our different stages in life, and that's totally normal. So I love helping people through that experience. That's my passion. But that's not what I'm here to talk about today. Today I'm here to talk about LinkedIn. Now, I had the opportunity to attend last week. How many of you heard Doug last week train on LinkedIn? Very good. Okay. So this is going to be a part two. I'm not going to try to cover all of the information that he already covered. I'm going to pick up where he left off. Now, let me just gauge the room. How many of you actually have a LinkedIn account? Very good. Okay, now keep your hands up. Keep your hands up if you have filled out your profile to completion. If you haven't, drop those hands. Okay. How many of you, keep your hands up, if you actually use LinkedIn on a regular basis? If you don't, drop your hands. Notice the hands keep dropping, right? Thank you. You can put your hands down. Now I know where the room is at. The reason I asked that, and the reason that I named, and this is going to be kind of tricky. I guess I'm going to walk over here so that my friends over there can see can everyone see the PowerPoint? Okay. That's why I named it. And I made this PowerPoint especially for you all this morning in this room and for everyone that's watching on YouTube. Because this is so poignant, right? We sign up for LinkedIn. Everyone says sign up, sign up, sign up, but nobody ever teaches us how to use it. So we sign up, and then we're on this really intimidating website. We have no idea what's the purpose, and we end up getting overwhelmed and we shut it down. Has anyone ever been in that place before? Yeah, a lot of people. So what I wanted to do is I had a conversation with my friend Michelle the other day, and we were just discussing LinkedIn, and we were talking about some of the common areas that a lot of people have trouble with. And they say, well, I don't know. Everyone says, well, use LinkedIn to network. Well, how? And all the different things that you need to know in order to feel a little bit more familiar. Now, I can't go over everything in 45 minutes, but what I can do is go over a couple of the key pointers that I think it's important to know. So if you have notes, you definitely want to take those notes right now. Key pointers that it's important to know when it comes to networking on LinkedIn. This was working earlier. Don't do this to me.
Somebody's standing and push the button in?
Uh-oh.
What point is this up here? Paul.
No, well, it's the computers, actually. This was working earlier, gentlemen. I don't know what I did.
Tech support.
We finally got the overhead working. Thank you. Everyone, a clap for Ken.
Did you do that?
That wasn't me. Yay, you got it. Thanks, Ken. Okay. All right. So the agenda today, some of the key pointers that I think it's important to discuss. I can't go over I usually teach an advanced LinkedIn workshop. It's 2 hours, and it's like hands-on, where you're sitting on your computer and walking through it with me. I just don't have time for that today. But what I can do is go over some of the key pointers. I will, as long as you give me your email address afterward, will you start a list? And as long as you give me your email address, I will email you the PowerPoint so you can review it later, okay? So the agenda, number 1, why is LinkedIn important? 2, first things first, some of the things that I think that everyone just needs to get out of the way when it comes to building your profile. Number 3, LinkedIn and the hidden job market. Who's familiar with the hidden job market? Some people aren't. Well, good. It's important for you to know. How to network into your target company, and finally taking it offline. The importance of an informational interview. And who's familiar with the term informational interview? Okay, very good. So let's start with, why is LinkedIn so important? Number 1, LinkedIn is the easiest and fastest way to expand your network. We are in the 21st century now. So you already know that technology is taking off at astronomical rates. And LinkedIn is the most powerful way for you to network professionally. Okay, I know that it's a social networking platform. Okay, so Facebook would be kind of like the backyard barbecue. A lot of people are not interested in Facebook. This is not Facebook. This is LinkedIn. It's a professional online networking website. So if you think of it where your resume meets your Rolodex, put them together, and you have LinkedIn. At this point, it's almost necessary for you to have a professional online presence. Why? Because it shows that you're plugged in, that you're not scared of computers, you're not scared of technology, and that's what employers are looking for today. So if you don't have a LinkedIn profile, chances are it's going to be a yellow flag, because the employer's going to say, well, are they not familiar with computers? Do they not like technology? I'd rather have somebody that's not afraid of it. So you need to have that professional online presence. But also, if you think of LinkedIn as a big circle, okay? This is you in the middle of your world. And your friends are considered your what? First degree connection, correct. Yeah, they're first degree. And think of, has anyone ever heard the term 6 degrees of separation? Like the whole world, you basically know anyone in the world by 6 degrees of separation. Well, this one, it just goes out 3 degrees, okay? So your first degree are the people that you know directly. Your second degree, they know your friends, but you don't know them directly, okay? So it's their second degree connections. And third degree are the people that they know. Well, on LinkedIn, your network is considered this picture right here, but LinkedIn really capitalizes on your first degree and second degree. And when you look at this picture right here, you can think, okay, well, I know who I know, but I have no idea who they know. And when it comes to networking to your target company, you have no idea where your next opportunity lies, or you have no idea who the people are that can lead you to that place. So LinkedIn makes that very easy. But if you don't at least have 100 contacts, it's not going to work as well as it could if you have at least 100 contacts. So now let me gauge the room. How many of you have at least 100 contacts on LinkedIn? Okay, not as many hands. So that's one of your first goals, is to complete your profile to completion, and LinkedIn will start recommending people that you may know, people that worked at the same company that you worked while you were there, people that went to school with you, God bless you, people that went to school with you while you were there. Okay, LinkedIn will help you build that, but your goal is to get to 100 people, because it's not as effective. You can't tap into as many second degrees when you just have a very limited scope of contacts. So we'll go into the contacts a little bit more, but your goal is to get to 100 people fast. Got it? Got it?
Got it.
Yes.
Good. Secondly, I just kind of covered that. It helps you create that professional online presence, which is necessary now as we're networking in the 21st century. Discover inside connections when you're looking for a job, a new business opportunity, or professional knowledge. We're going to talk about that in detail a little bit later, about how to find out, well, who are these people at these companies, and how do I network into that? So we'll talk about that. Also, you never know who your connections know. And you all have heard that term a million times. It's not what you know, it's who you know. Who you know. You got it. Yeah, so when you're going into the job search, if you're banging your head against the wall, sending out 100 resumes through job boards like Craigslist, Indeed, Monster, Hot Jobs, Simply Hired, but you're not talking to anybody, then you're missing it. Okay? The job search is a game, and when you learn how to play the game, you can play to win. And sitting on the computer in your PJs because you're too scared to talk to anyone is not playing to win. It's playing scared. Okay? We're not going to be overcome by fear. All right. So, it also gives a better holistic picture of you as a professional. When you fill out a resume, there's only but so much you can present about yourself on a piece of paper. It's just black and white writing. So it doesn't give you a picture of all of your accomplishments or all of the projects that you've done. When you use LinkedIn, you can actually brand yourself as a professional in your field. You can add your profile picture. We're going to talk about that. Do we not? Who adds the profile picture? You can add samples of your work. LinkedIn gives you an opportunity. How many of you have ever gotten a thank you letter or a thank you note or some sort of letter of recommendation? Okay, yeah. that would be a good thing to upload to your computer and add to your profile. You can't add that to a resume, but you can add that to your profile. Does anyone have a portfolio of their work? Any pictures, or those of you that are more artistic, add the profile, okay? There's something that's really catching on right now. It's becoming really popular, and that's to create a 30-second video intro of yourself. Just like the people did this morning. They did a great job of introducing themselves. Your name, your professional background, maybe some of your professional highlights or something that you're really passionate about. That would be a great way to introduce yourself by video and add the video to your LinkedIn profile. So it's becoming more robust and giving a really, really good picture of you as a professional. Also, it helps, you can add recommendations. You actually get to have people speak on your behalf right there on your profile. And so I recommend that you get 360 degrees of recommendations, meaning from one of your superiors, your boss, your supervisor, somebody like that, from your peer level, your coworkers, and then also either from somebody that you supervised or a client that you served or a patient or a customer that was really happy with your service. Have them speak to that, and that's on your profile 24/7, whether you're asleep or awake. Anybody can click on your profile and read these wonderful things that people had to say about you. So this is why LinkedIn is so important. It's so much more than just a piece of paper. It really gives a good picture of you as a professional. So first things first, the profile picture. Dun, dun, dun. How many of you have a profile picture? Good job. Very good. I get a lot of kickback on the profile picture. Why? Well, the first thing is privacy. I don't want my picture all over the internet. Okay, I understand that. I respect that. Another one is, well, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too dark, I'm too light, I'm too tall, I'm too short, I'm too big, I'm too little, I'm too this, I'm too that. Everyone has some reason why they're too, okay? I'm too this, I'm too that. Let me tell you, I get it. Discrimination is real, okay? It happens. Do we all agree that sometimes some people are not as kind as other people are? Yes. You guys awake? Yeah. Okay. Oh, you guys are sitting on the edge of your seat. Well, that's good. Okay. So, I get it. All right. But will they see you in the interview?
Yes.
Are they going to see you eventually? Yes. Why not you control their first impression of you? Why not you control how they see you in the first place? If you present yourself professionally in a professional picture, then you get to show the world, this is me. And you can even brand yourself by using a picture. Did you realize that? Some pictures, if you don't smile, you look more serious, which might be important if you're going to be in a trial attorney or something like that. And other pictures, you can smile and seem more approachable, and that's really good if you're in a people business, right? A business where you interact with people. I say adding a professional profile picture helps you in 5 different areas. Number 1, it helps you build credibility. By the mere fact that you look professional, you give off an image that you want people to perceive you as. So that it matters what dress you wear, it matters what your background is, it matters how you do your hair and how composed you look, your posture, all of that matters in a picture. A picture itself can give you more credibility. Also, recognition. Let's say that you have friends from high school. Ladies, we've changed our names for those of us that got married, and maybe changed it a couple times, but we're not going there today. Okay? So let's say that you've changed your name, or that you have some friends from high school that are trying to find you. Well, if they're going through and scrolling through a list of people with your name, the moment they see your face, they're going to say, oh, I remember her. Or let's say LinkedIn is going through scrolling and saying people you may know. Have you ever seen that? The people you may know. People are scrolling through people you may know, and they see your face and they go, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about him. I loved him in college. And they want to connect with you. This is the beautiful thing about having your picture on there, the recognition. Also, consistency. You want to keep your professional online presence consistent across all different platforms. If you have a blog, if you have a website, if you have a LinkedIn profile, you want to keep it consistent, that consistency. It helps build that brand. Personal appeal. People that look attractive, right? And you all look beautiful this morning. If I could go back and take a picture of all of you. That it helps build that a personal appeal. Makes you more approachable, more likable. That's good. Finally, personal branding. You can brand yourself as an expert in your, like I said already, in your particular field. So let's do a little exercise here. Can you stand? Can you see this over here? Okay. So this exercise right here, I want to know, what does your profile say about you? So each of these people, I just Googled LinkedIn profile pictures, and I pulled up some examples here, but each of these people, their picture says something about them. So this woman over here in the middle, I don't know if you can see, no you can't. So, or this one top left, what does her picture say about her? Go ahead and yell it out. Confident, stylish, what else? Approachable. What type of career does her picture say? What might she do?
Real estate.
Real estate? We see real estate? What else?
Yeah.
Management?
Counseling.
Counseling. Okay. Good. Yeah, I see that. Very good. What about this gentleman? Nice smile. This is salesman. That big smile, salesman, right?
Positive outlook.
Positive outlook. That personal appeal. Warm. He looks, okay, now look at him compared to him. They might be the same thing, but a smile matters,
Well,
right?
that guy down there's a Sierra Cup.
Yeah, someone sees the It might be, you know, because, or some people say he's more serious. That might be what he's going for. You know, if someone sees salesman, and if you're going for a more serious career, you may not want to have a big cheesy smile like that. Because someone may say, I don't know about him. He's not very trustworthy. I don't like his smile, right? I want someone that's more serious. So what kind of career are you going for? What's the industry? And what characteristics are they looking for? That's what you exude in your profile picture. What about this lady right here? Teacher?
Looks like one of my.
Oh, I'm sorry. I like a lot of interaction. This isn't one way. This is two way. Go ahead and feel free to yell out.
Looks like one of my home loan officers.
Home loan officers, okay?
Like, you know, in the sense of somebody who's helpful. and
Accountant.
works hard.
What about this gentleman here? Dress matters. What about his?
Teacher.
Oh, teacher? Maybe like the cool
Middle school
science teater or something?
Yeah.
Software engineer.
Techie, software engineer? Yeah, he doesn't really care about what he wears apparently. Or that's intentional. I don't know. What about this lady? What does she say?
Real estate.
Conservative, HR, loan officer. So she might want a more conservative firm to find her, okay? Funny story about this one right here. When I was looking through pictures, I pulled up this picture. I was like, wow, she's really pretty. And then, no lie, her name is Hannah Bell. I was like, the thing that is worse, her website is hannahrbell.com. She took my middle name too. So anyway, so yay, go you. Okay, now what about this one? What is she branding herself as? Yeah, awesome. What about this gentleman? Dress matters. What is he branding himself as? Doctor, nurse, something in the medical field, right? Very good. What about this gentleman? What is he branding himself? Background matters. Dress matters. You can control their first impression of you simply by using a LinkedIn profile picture. Do we get it? Very good.
So cartoon characters shouldn't be used.
No cartoon characters, no pets, no full body shots. You want head shots only, okay? Head and shoulders. That's it. No group pictures. And try not to have a picture that you blew up really big and it's really fuzzy, or one that's too dark. You want a nice professional picture. Taking it in natural lighting is always better.
How old compared to you?
Just make sure it looks like you. So, I mean, some people have not changed
Don't go back
in
20
10
years.
years. Other people changed a lot in 10 years. So you want it that when they meet you in person, they don't go, whoa. That could be good or bad.
So this is not Match.com. Is what
This
you're
is
saying.
not Match.com. There you go. You want them to recognize you in the interview. Okay. The next thing that's really important, first things first, you want to personalize your URL, okay? That's how people find you. This is what you're going to use, the link that you use on your profile, on your resume. Now, this one, what you do, and if you look on your profile, if you have linkedin.com/pub/a bunch of letters and numbers, you have not done this yet, okay? So what you want to do is when you go onto your LinkedIn page, you're going to mouse over the word profile in the top settings there. In the top bar. And you're going to click on the word edit profile. So you mouse over profile and you click edit profile. which will take you to your edit page. And I just took a snippet of the shot so that you can follow these instructions later when you get home on your computer. Just under, so you'll see where you can change your name, you can change your title, you can change your location, you can change your profile picture, and then right under your profile picture, you'll actually see the link. Now, when you first sign up for LinkedIn, this is going to say, I know it's really small, you probably can't see it over there, but this will say linkedin.com/pub/ a bunch of letters and numbers. You're going to want to change that to your name. You want to personalize your URL. So just next to that, you'll see a blue edit button. When you click that button, it takes you to another page where you'll see in the top right corner where you can customize your profile URL. It takes less than 30 seconds. So you'll be able to customize your profile URL. What name do you use here? I suggest you keep the name consistent with your resume and with your profile name. So because my profile name, and we'll talk about personalizing your name as well, because my profile name is Hannah Renee Bell, I have on here Hannah Renee Bell. Because when people do a Google search on me, and you know that the employer is going to Google you, right? Because they want to know all the information they can get on you before they make that final decision. When they Google me, I want anything that has to do with me to pop up at the top of their search. So that's why everything I have is consistent across all platforms. Hannah Renee Bell. Any questions about personalizing your URL?
And you may get to this later, but what do you do when someone else has your name?
So glad you asked. We are going to get to that.
Okay,
Yes. It might be right now. Thank you. Great lead-in.
anytime.
Okay, so it's important to set yourself apart. You want to keep your, like I just said, keep your professional presence consistent across all platforms. When you Google the name Hannah Bell, it's very common. There were 70 results that came up, and I was not one of the first ones. So how in the world is someone supposed to find me, especially if I don't even have a profile picture, a reason that you need to have a profile picture.
Anna, was that a Google search or a LinkedIn search?
LinkedIn, did I say Google?
Yes.
Thank you. LinkedIn search. When you
70
do,
just in LinkedIn, wow.
when you're within LinkedIn and you go to that top bar, you can do a search for your name. So if you have a really common name, there's going to be multiple people with your name. That's normal. I have 70 people that have the name Hannah Bell just within LinkedIn. That's really not that much. I searched for John Smith and there were thousands, like 8,000 people with the name John Smith, okay? So, but for me, I'm using myself as an example, there's 70 Hannah Bells, and I'm not even one of the first people that they mentioned. So how in the world are you gonna find me with a name like that? Which is why you can either use a middle initial or a middle name or something to set yourself apart. For me, on my resume, I have Hannah Renee Bell because when they do the Google search, I want them to know what to look for. Or when they do the LinkedIn search, I want them to know what to search for. And when you search for a Hannah Renee Bell in LinkedIn, there's only one. There's only me. Okay? So I would suggest that you find some sort of way to set yourself apart so that you keep it consistent and professional across all the different platforms, and this is the best way for them to find you. Yes?
I've tried to use spaces, you know, like your first name and then your last name, and I try to put a space and it won't let you, so you have to join the words together.
Right.
I'm just-
Oh, well, what I do
In the
is
URL
Hannah
itself.
In
Renee
the
is
URL.
my first name. Are you talking about the URL?
Yeah,
The URL is it's like a website, so www. whatever. So you can't use a space in a URL,
Right.
it's just written all the way
Right,
through.
right, or a special character like an underscore.
Right, right, but I wouldn't recommend that. I wouldn't recommend any sort of special characters when it comes to typing in a web address.
So just use words,
Just
letters.
use letters and maybe if you need to add some numbers. Yeah. If you do add numbers, please don't add your birthday. Why don't you want to add your birthday?
It's a little personal.
It's too much personal information, yeah, and especially not the year you were born, but just with identity theft and everything that's going on, you just don't want to
You're
do
gonna find it on Facebook anyhow, so.
If your profile settings aren't right, they sure can. Okay, so do we see the importance of setting yourself apart? Especially those of us with common names. All right, let's talk about LinkedIn and the hidden job market. I noticed that many of you were actually not very familiar with the hidden job market. So let me explain what that is. If you think of, and I wish I had something to write, but it looks like I don't. We're all filled up. Okay. So when you think of the hidden job market, The advertised job market are all the jobs that are listed online that anybody can click on because they're on the internet. They're open for everybody, okay? Hidden job market are all the jobs that are not even listed online. Now how many of you would say that the majority of your time spent searching for jobs is searching on the internet? Most people, yeah. Usually I see about 100% of the hands go up. Most of the time, why? Because it's convenient. You can do it from home, you can do it in your PJs, you don't have that fear of rejection because you're all by yourself behind, the safe computer. But the problem with that is everybody's doing it. And so you're competing against everybody. And when it comes to, you okay? Okay, when it comes to doing your job search, because everyone's searching on the internet, they're actually, you're making me nervous. Oh, okay.
Turn down some lights, I guess.
But the pens are gone. Thank you. So when it comes to doing your search, you want to go not where everybody else is going, because when everybody is searching on the internet, what happens is every one position for any medium or large size company gets inundated with resumes, like 1,000 resumes on average per position. How do you set yourself apart? You are the best. Thank you. How do you set yourself apart from 1,000 other people? It's very difficult to do. And many of those people aren't even qualified for the job that they're going for. So, I like to think of the hidden job market as a bullet or a bullseye. And who's ever seen my bullseye demonstration before? I know a few of you have. Okay. So this is good. So when you think of the hidden job market, think of it, I'm a hiring manager, and I have one position to fill. Let's say that that's an accounting position. I want to fill this position as quickly and efficiently and cost effectively as possible. And I want to have a really good hire that's not going to, putz out after a couple of months and I have to go through this whole process again. But I don't have a lot of money in my budget. What's the first thing that I'm going to do when I'm looking for the right hire? Where's the first place that I'm going to go?
Employees.
I'm going to look, within my own scope or my own sphere, I'm going to look at who within this company is ready for promotion or ready to move. And that's the first person that I'm going to reach out to. Now, after that, if I still can't find anybody, who am I going to reach out to next? Not yet. You guys are close, but we're not there yet.
Friends and coworkers.
Close. I'm going to reach out to all the other department heads. So the first one was just who do I know? Then secondly is an entire company internal search. I'm going to post it internally. Is this on anywhere on the internet yet? No. So I'm looking all over the internet, and I realize that I look all within the company, talk to everybody, internal hires, do you know of anybody, and still I can't find anyone. Then where am I going to go next? I've heard you all say it a couple times already.
Employee references.
Employee referrals. So next I'm going to say, well, who do you know, employees, who do you know that might be a good fit? Why would I go to employee referrals before I go to the internet?
Because if they're willing to put that person in your hands, so to speak, they must have believed in them, because otherwise it's going to look bad.
Okay, they're concerned about their reputation. They don't want to look bad, so they're not going to refer. So is an employee referral more valid than somebody coming off the street?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, because the employee's reputation is on the line. And I may have to pay a couple $100, maybe a couple $1,000 for a referral bonus, but for the most part, it's a lot cheaper for me, the employer, than it would be necessarily for the than if I posted online. Now, if I still can't find, this area right here, this is called the hidden job market. Has this been posted online yet? No. And what percentage of all the jobs available right now would you say are available? This right here is golden. This is golden. This is where the money is when it comes to playing to win. Remember I said that? The job search is just a game. Okay, when you learn to play the game, you can learn to play to win. And networking, to where 80% of the jobs are and hardly anyone is playing, that's playing to win. I'm going to show you how to do that with LinkedIn. Now, let's say that as, I'm going to kind of zoom through this, hiring manager, for whatever reason, I could not fill the position through employee referrals. Where am I going to go next?
An agency.
In the industry, what else?
An agency or a temp agency?
In a temp agency or a recruiter or something like that. That's where I'm gonna go next. I'm gonna put that in orange. I don't know if you can see the difference in the colors, they're very close. Why am I gonna go to an agency or recruiter next? Staffing agency, temp
So
agency.
they can filter for you.
They can filter. I need to have this done as quickly as possible. So they're gonna be able to filter out all the people that don't really matter, right? So I'm gonna go to the staffing agency, the temp agency, the recruiter next. And I'm gonna let them do all the hard work. Am I gonna have to pay a little bit of money?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll have to pay a commission. Is it worth it for me?
Yes.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna go there next. That's why it's important for you to sign up for temp agencies, for staffing agencies. Some companies, as a matter of fact, the larger companies like the Google, the Facebook, those large companies, they actually contract with one temp agency, one staffing agency. And if you really want to work for Google, what would be a good strategy? Find out what staffing agency and get started with them. So you can call the companies, your target companies. How many of you have a list of target companies that you'd like to work for? It's a good place to start. Start with the end in mind. You can contact those companies and actually ask them, what agency do you use? Do you use an agency? And then go get signed up with them and tell the agency, I want to work for this company. When a position opens, let me know. Okay? So yes, staffing agencies are the next one. And if for whatever reason, now, why did I put this in orange? Why is it not in red? Why is
It's
it
now
not a hidden
public.
job market?
It's now public.
It's now public because a lot of the recruiters are now posting those positions online. So this is now out there for everybody. And by the way, let me pause on this. How many of you have ever applied for a position online, you didn't hear anything, and then 6 months later they contacted you and said, hey? That's because many of the staffing agencies, they actually have, I call them phishing posts, because they want to get a large pool of qualified applicants and already weed them out and have them sitting and waiting so that when the employer comes to them with a position, they're not scrambling to find somebody, they already have qualified applicants. And then they can say, here's the list of qualified applicants, and you can get contacted like that. That's sometimes why you're just kind of sitting there, because the first time that you get communicated with is the first time that they found a position that they think might be a great fit for you. Does that make sense?
So as a strategy in the future, should we constantly be sending in resumes to companies we're interested in, even if we're working, so we'll be in that pool later on, so.
I'm going to show you how to use LinkedIn to do that. So that's what this is the lead-in for how to use LinkedIn to tap into the hidden job market. So, but I want to make sure you understand the hidden job market first. Now, if for whatever reason I still can't find somebody through these recruiters and staffing agencies, then where do I open it up to? The internet. I open it up to anyone and everyone. And can anyone apply for a posting on the internet? Do you have to be qualified to apply for a posting on the internet?
No.
Have any of us ever applied for a position we knew we weren't qualified for on the internet? Of course we have, yeah. But everybody is living out here when 80% of their jobs are in here. And I get it. So that's why, on average, every one position has about 1,000 applicants